The best revenge to people who hurt you. Imagine a life where the pain caused by others no longer holds power over you. What if I told you that the most profound revenge you could take against those who hurt you isn't to fight back, but to rise above, to live with peace and purpose? In a world full of chaos and hurt, your greatest strength is in maintaining your peace and wisdom. Today, let's explore how you can turn the energy of negativity into the fuel for your own growth, happiness, and inner strength. Stay with me and discover the true power of letting go. Number 1. Indifference is the ultimate power. You've been hurt, betrayed, or disrespected by someone close to you. In that moment, it's tempting to retaliate, to shout your hurt and frustration at the world. But what if the most powerful thing you could do was nothing at all? What if the best revenge wasn't a response, but an absence of reaction? The true power lies in indifference, the ability to remain unaffected by the negativity of others, not through apathy, but through emotional control and wisdom. Indifference isn't about being cold or heartless. It's about protecting your peace by not allowing someone else's behavior to dictate your emotional state. In a world where everyone seems to be shouting their opinions and stirring up conflict, the ability to remain unmoved is a sign of strength. When you choose indifference, you are reclaiming your power. You are no longer allowing others to pull you into their chaos. Instead, you rise above it, demonstrating that their actions no longer hold the key to your happiness. Think about it for a moment. The people who hurt you often expect a reaction. They want to see you angry, upset, or emotionally unsettled. It gives them a sense of control over you. But when you choose to remain indifferent, when you choose not to react, but to simply walk away with your peace intact, you strip them of that power. You take away their ability to disturb your happiness, and in doing so, you gain the ultimate victory. In fact, indifference is not a sign of weakness but one of strength. It takes much more strength to remain calm in the face of adversity than to react impulsively. The greatest warriors in life don't react to every battle, they choose when and where to engage. By choosing indifference, you elevate yourself to a higher plane, one where external events and negative people have no power over your internal world. Imagine a life where you are no longer at the mercy of other people's actions, where their insults, offenses, and betrayals no longer carry the weight to alter your mood or mindset. Instead, you are free. You have reclaimed your peace and emotional well-being. The moment you stop feeding into negativity and stop reacting to others' provocations, you take back control of your life. Indifference is the ultimate power, an unshakable strength that leads to true happiness and freedom. Number 2, success is the greatest silence. In a world that constantly craves validation and attention, true success often speaks the loudest in silence. The most powerful victories are often the ones that go unnoticed, uncelebrated, and unspoken. This is the essence of a quiet life, one where your achievements and progress are not announced, but rather felt through your actions and the life you build. The greatest revenge, the most profound triumph over those who wish you harm, is to live a life of success that needs no external acknowledgement. Think about it for a moment. How often do we get caught up in the noise? Social media, gossip, and the expectations of others all demand our constant attention. People measure their worth based on external approval, on likes, and on the praise they receive from others. But here's the truth. True success doesn't need an audience. It doesn't need applause. It doesn't need to be shouted from the rooftops. Success speaks through the integrity of your actions and the peace it brings to your life. When you live with this kind of quiet success, you no longer feel the need to prove yourself to others. You're not seeking approval or validation from external sources. Instead, your sense of accomplishment comes from within. Every step you take toward your goals is a silent victory. Every move forward, no matter how small, is a triumph over the obstacles in your path. Let's reflect on the people in your life who have hurt you, the ones who have tried to bring you down or diminish your worth. What happens when you rise above their attempts to destabilize you? What happens when you focus on your growth, your success, and your happiness, regardless of the noise they create? You begin to show them, not with words or reactions, but through your actions, that their attempts to hurt you are irrelevant. Their attempts to diminish your worth have no place in your life, because your success speaks louder than their words ever could. Your silence is powerful because it is an acknowledgement that you don't need to explain yourself, seek permission, or wait for approval. By succeeding and living well, you build a life that becomes your statement, one of purpose, fulfillment, and strength. And in doing so, you slowly render the negative voices irrelevant. You elevate yourself to a point where their negativity no longer has any sway over your life. Success, quiet and unspoken, is the revenge that endures. Number 3. Control what you can, ignore what you can't. In a world that often feels overwhelming and unpredictable, one of the most empowering practices you can embrace is the understanding of what is truly within your control. We often waste time, energy, and precious mental space fighting battles that are beyond our reach. But here's the profound truth. The key to lasting happiness, peace, and success is focusing on what you can control and letting go of the rest. Ask yourself, how often do you find yourself stressed, anxious, or upset over situations that are completely out of your control? Maybe it's someone else's behavior, a setback at work, or a global issue that stirs up emotions within you. But here's the reality. Those things cannot be changed by you, and your emotional investment in them only drains your energy. What's more, it keeps you trapped in a cycle of frustration and helplessness. Now let's reset. Think about the most important areas of your life. What can you control? You have control over your thoughts, your responses, your actions, and your attitude. You decide how you show up for yourself, how you interact with others, and how you handle challenges. That's where your true power lies. It's in your ability to decide your mindset, regardless of the external chaos around you. The people who hurt you or cause you pain cannot control your emotional response unless you let them. Their words or actions might trigger you, but the way you respond, or choose not to respond, is entirely in your hands. Instead of letting their negativity dictate your state of mind, take back your power by focusing on what you can control. Your peace, your goals, your sense of purpose. Think about this. When you stop giving energy to what you cannot change, you free up your emotional and mental space to invest in what truly matters, your growth, your happiness, and your well-being. You focus on what you can create, on how you can evolve, and on how you can find joy even when circumstances aren't perfect. When you choose to ignore what you can't control, you step into a life of strength and calm. You no longer let external events or people disrupt your peace, and in doing so, you create space for happiness to flourish. You've taken back control, and in that power you become unstoppable. Number 4. Master your emotions, master your life. In a world that constantly bombards us with stress, challenges, and conflicts, the ability to master your emotions is one of the most transformative skills you can develop. Emotions are powerful forces. They can either drive us towards success and happiness or derail us into frustration and despair. But here's the key. You have the power to control them, and in doing so, you gain control over your life. Take a moment and think about the times in your life when you've allowed your emotions to dictate your actions. Maybe it was anger that led to a rash decision, fear that held you back from pursuing something you desired, or frustration that caused you to lose your calm in an important situation. In those moments you might have felt out of control, as if your emotions were the ones in charge. But here's the truth. The moment you master your emotions, you take back control of your life. Now, let's hit the reset button. Emotions by nature are temporary. They arise, they build, and they eventually fade. The key is not to react impulsively to them, but to observe them, acknowledge them, and then make a conscious decision about how you want to respond. Think of your emotions like the weather. They may storm and thunder, but just as the storm passes, so do intense emotions. What matters most is how you choose to act during those moments of intensity. When you master your emotions, you unlock the ability to stay calm, focused, and level-headed even in the most trying circumstances. You don't let frustration or anger cloud your judgment. You don't let fear paralyze you from taking action. Instead, you channel your emotions in ways that empower you, using them as signals to inform your decisions rather than allowing them to control you. This emotional mastery is a key pillar of happiness. Imagine a life where you don't let setbacks or negative people hijack your mood. Instead, you can stay grounded, composed, and positive no matter what life throws at you. This doesn't mean suppressing your feelings. It means understanding them, responding with intention, and ultimately choosing peace over chaos. Mastering your emotions allows you to build deeper, more meaningful relationships, achieve greater success in your personal and professional life, and, most importantly, experience a deeper sense of inner peace and happiness. When you control your emotions, you control your destiny. Number 5. Live so well they become irrelevant. Imagine living a life where your happiness, success, and peace aren't dependent on the opinions, actions, or judgments of others. Now, picture a reality where your worth is determined by your own standards, not by the approval or disapproval of those around you. This is the power of living so well that the negativity or toxicity of others becomes irrelevant. In a world that thrives on comparison, competition, and the constant need for validation, it's easy to lose sight of your own path. People will always have their opinions. They may criticize, judge, or try to impose their beliefs on you. But here's the liberating truth. None of this has to affect you unless you allow it to. When you live well, you become impervious to the noise and distractions around you. The key to true happiness lies not in seeking validation from others, but in focusing on your own growth, fulfillment, and self-respect. What does it mean to live well? It's not about material success or superficial accomplishments. It's about living in alignment with your values, nurturing your emotional and mental health, and continuously striving to become the best version of yourself. When you live with intention and purpose, your life becomes a reflection of your personal journey. You become confident in your own choices, unshaken by the fleeting opinions of those who may not truly understand your path. Whether it's a personal decision, a career move, or how you handle adversity, living well means you make choices based on your inner wisdom, not based on the fear of judgment. So how does this connect to happiness? When you are at peace with who you are and what you're doing, external circumstances lose their power over you. Think about it. The more grounded you are in your values, the less you're swayed by the approval or disapproval of others. Imagine not needing to prove anything to anyone, simply living your life authentically and with integrity. This creates a deep, lasting peace and a powerful sense of self-worth that is completely independent of what others think. In doing so, you become irrelevant to those who wish to drag you down or question your choices. They can no longer control your happiness because you've learned that your happiness is rooted in the strength and clarity of your own convictions. Live so well, so fully, and so authentically that the opinions of others are no longer of any consequence. When you focus on what truly matters, your own growth, peace, and fulfillment, the rest will naturally fade into the background. You will have created a life so rich with purpose and joy that negativity and judgment no longer have a place in it. Number 6. Your peace is their defeat. In a world constantly filled with noise, drama, and conflict, one of the most powerful ways you can rise above the chaos is by protecting your inner peace. This is not just a practice, but a lifestyle, a commitment to creating a space within yourself where peace, joy, and fulfillment are not contingent on the external world, but grounded in your own ability to remain centered, calm, and unshaken. Think about it. When someone tries to hurt you, belittle you, or drag you into their negativity, what are you really losing? Often, it's your peace of mind, your happiness, and your ability to maintain your emotional balance. But here's the truth. When you choose to remain at peace despite others' actions, you win. Their attempts to disturb your peace actually reveal their weakness, not yours. What if you made a conscious decision to not let anything or anyone take your inner tranquility from you? Imagine the power in that. By choosing peace over conflict, calm over chaos, you are asserting control over your life. The people who wish to provoke, criticize, or hurt you ultimately only succeed if you allow them to affect you. But when you refuse to engage, when you protect your peace and rise above the storm, you take away their power. Your peace is their defeat. This is the greatest form of strength, being unshaken and unbothered by things that used to trigger you. It's about not allowing external circumstances to determine your emotional state. Whether it's a frustrating situation at work, a negative encounter with a friend or family member, or even a person's constant attempts to bring you down, choosing peace in the face of adversity shows the world that nothing can disrupt your happiness. You become impervious to negativity. Protecting your peace doesn't mean avoiding conflict or walking away from necessary conversations. It means not letting the small, unimportant things disturb your core. It's recognizing when it's worth your energy to engage and when it's best to simply walk away and keep your emotional energy intact. Your peace, once protected and cultivated, becomes your greatest shield. It not only empowers you but shows others that you are in control of your life and your happiness. It sends the message that their negativity has no place in your world. By choosing peace, you defeat the very forces trying to tear you down. And in that you find the true power to live a life of happiness, fulfillment, and inner strength. The best revenge is not in seeking payback, but in living a life so full of peace, purpose, and self-mastery that those who once hurt you become irrelevant. When you control your emotions, focus on your growth, and protect your inner peace, you truly become invincible. Remember, your happiness is yours to create, and no one has the power to take that from you unless you allow it. Thank you for your time today. I wish you strength, wisdom, and a life filled with lasting happiness. Keep rising above, and let your peace be your power.